So ladies and gentlemen, things are not getting better for Xbox, at least in public perception. Things are not getting better for Xbox. Yes, I do know that there are people out there who are still big time Xbox supporters, even through all of this. And for you, I give you a good dab. I don't know how you do it, but you do it, and it's okay that you do it. I'm just gonna say that right now. But there's been a lot of disappointment, and we need to keep talking about it. Xbox is still doing that thing I wish they wouldn't do, which is just to say too much. They say way too much. So we first of all, did you hear the news today? Apparently, GTA 3, Grand Theft Auto 3 was first pitched to Xbox, and they turned it down. Though maybe I can't really fault them for that because no one really knew what GTA 3 was till it became what it was. So maybe I can't fault them for that. But that's an interesting video. Go watch that. You see on the screen Sarah Bond responding to a question about Hi-Fi Rush.
Earlier this week is an outcome of that, uh, and our commitment to make sure that the business is healthy for the long term. But that said, our commitment to having our own studios and working with partners to have games large and small, platform where you can play GTA, but you can also play Power World.
This is what you're saying, GTA, right? That's the first thing she said. GTA what? GTA 6? Yeah, because you already know what you're dealing with there. You got GTA 6 coming out next year, and there's so much bad news around you right now that you need to start putting out some fires, some major fires. So she said GTA first.
Where you can play Call of Duty and you can also play Pentiment. That doesn't change.
Okay. Okay. Remember, she did not mention Hi-Fi Rush. Could she have just forgotten about Hi-Fi Rush? I highly doubt it, because this is the big game everyone's been talking about. She mentioned Pentiment. That's that small game, but not Hi-Fi Rush. Okay? Okay. So now let's get back to the question that this lady asked.
You know, one of the shuttered studios in particular just created a hit game, did really well on Gamepass in terms of engagement, and won a ton of awards. Shouldn't succeeding in that way ensure the future of a studio?
You know, one of the things.
And that's the question, right? Wait a minute. You said you want small and big games. Okay, cool. You just shut down a studio that made Hi-Fi Rush. She didn't. The interview didn't even mention Hi-Fi Rush, by the way. She didn't mention Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, she did not mention Hi-Fi Rush once. Okay, just keep that in mind.
You know, one of the things I really love about the games industry is it's a creative art form. And it means that the situation and what success is for each game and studio is also really unique. Like, there's no one size fits all to it for us. And so we look at.
I'm going to stop there because this is a horror show. She talks for another couple more seconds, but trust me, she didn't answer the question not once. She completely deflected from the question and didn't address it. If you watch Sarah's face, there's something going on in Xbox that doesn't make sense. She looks extremely uncomfortable. You knew Bloomberg was going to ask you this question. This interview was scheduled probably weeks, if not months ago. You knew this was going to happen. Why does she look so unprepared and uncomfortable? I'm not sure the interviewer was supposed to ask that question. I think that's why the interviewer did not mention the word Hi-Fi Rush, even though she described Hi-Fi Rush without saying Hi-Fi Rush. And this is a thing at Xbox right now, for those who still support Xbox. I'm with you, but we need to openly acknowledge here that there is a certain level of confusion that is weird. It actively feels like Xbox is hiding something. Like they're trying to not say the thing that we're all afraid they're going to say. And there's only two main things right now that we're all afraid of what they're going to say. So let me explain that. Number one is that Game Pass is going away because Game Pass did not work. That will be them admitting defeat. So that's the number one thing. And the number two thing is that they're going third party. That is the number two. So two things everyone is waiting for Xbox to say that Xbox is afraid to say are those two things. We have to shut down Game Pass because it didn't work. And two, we have to go third party. If they shut down Game Pass because it doesn't work, they will have to go third party. Okay? If they shut down Game Pass because Game Pass did not work, they will have to go third party. Okay? If they go third party, they can still maintain Xbox. They can still maintain Game Pass, and I think that's the route that they're looking into right now. The best route for them is to actually just go third party, but keep Game Pass. The problem is getting Game Pass into more people's hands has not been easy. They need phones to do it. They need Apple to give them access to the iPhone so they can put Game Pass in iPhones, and that will help them drive more engagement into Game Pass. So that plan has been slowed down because Apple is not giving them access, and they're fighting that in the courts, trying to get access to the iPhone. Okay, they've announced that they will open up, let you play Candy Crush on browsers. The reason why is because Apple is driving them crazy. Apple will not open up the iPhone, and Google will not open up the Google phone, and they need both of those ecosystems to drive Game Pass. That's why Game Pass is not growing, and it's driving them crazy. And this is the reason why I think she looks so tired and exasperated. They're fighting things that they're just not winning. So they are coming to a point where they need to make a decision. Are we going to push ahead with Game Pass, or are we going to shut down Game Pass? Question for you. Is Call of Duty, the next Call of Duty, going to be on Game Pass? Answer is, we do not know. And the answer is, they do not know, because they say we're still talking about that. We're still trying to figure that out. Here's the problem with Call of Duty and Game Pass. Call of Duty will not increase Game Pass memberships. Why? Because they need places. They need people to go to places to play Call of Duty, and they don't have places for them to go. Because everywhere else where players can go to play Call of Duty belongs to their competitors. Phones belong to their competitors. A good console market belongs to Sony and Nintendo, and both of those places isn't going to work very well for them. So what they're thinking now is, are we going to put Call of Duty on Game Pass? Here's a question. Please, for the love of God, do not hop in and believing you already have the answer to this, because nobody does. But here's the question. If they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, will they have to put Call of Duty on PS Plus as well? No, you do not know the answer. Don't say you know the answer. Nobody knows the answer, because we did not see those documents. Those court documents of the final agreements, we do not have access to those. So we don't know. We actually don't know the question to that answer. And that might be the reason why they're delaying on putting Call of Duty on Game Pass, because then they will have to put Call of Duty on PS Plus. And here's the other problem, and I'm gonna go deeper into this in another video, just because I know you guys kind of get tired. So I'm gonna make this video short. But here's another main point: even if they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, it still will not help them at all. Do you know why? Because Sony is still going to get the biggest number of Call of Duty players. So it's not going to grow Game Pass. And not only will it not grow Game Pass, because most of everyone who owns an Xbox actually owns Game Pass, right? Most people who have Xboxes already have Game Pass. So there's really not a whole lot of growth there, unless they can make Call of Duty exclusive, which they can't. And the second thing is, even if they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, the only thing PlayStation needs to do to make sure that more people buy PlayStation 5 to play Call of Duty is just to give people a reimbursement program. And this is how that's going to work. The only thing Sony needs to do is to create a Call of Duty PlayStation bundle, and then make that bundle cheaper. That's it. Call of Duty discount. That's it. That is the only thing PlayStation has to do. If you play Call of Duty, most of the people you play with already played on PS6. You're not going to go buy an Xbox for that. And if Sony just says, oh yeah, we'll give you Call of Duty and a brand new PlayStation, for the same cost, no extra. What are you going to do? That's what you'll do. Is Xbox going to pass that up? Probably not. Is Call of Duty going to be on Game Pass? It's to be determined because we don't know. But I am going to say two things. One, my answer is no. Call of Duty will not be on Game Pass. Secondly, if Call of Duty is on Game Pass, Call of Duty will also be on PlayStation Plus. Those are my two predictions. Thanks for watching. The channel is YTD33. I do all gaming talks as well as gaming gear review. I do have a video coming up next week with the reviewing this brand new OLED monitor, so be on the lookout for that. And I stream on Twitch, but more on that to come. I'm still figuring that part out, but that's where I do most of my recordings, so be on the lookout for that as well. Thanks for following, thanks for subscribing, and have a wonderful day.